I got it running, guys, and we are live in Ironton, Ohio this evening. It is about 5 minutes till 5 p.m. on Thursday, and we're going to do a little riding around and see what we can see. Hopefully, we'll be able to find some cherries and berries tonight. Well, I won't say hopefully, actually. I guess I like the days when we don't find any better than none, just because obviously no one's being harassed or policed for profit when there's no light shining, so that much is a fact. So hopefully there's some people out there that decide to join us today. What do you say, Max 420? How you doing? Good to see you today. Guys, I'm driving around in the daylight right now, so just know that it's going to be even a little bit harder for me to read the chat just because the sun's kind of in my eyes. It's a little harder to see the screen. I'm going to try to keep up. Hello, Tina. I'm sorry that I missed your call, dear. It came in just as I went live, and I only have the one phone. So if it's very important, I will stop this live. I will call you. We'll deal with that, and then I'll just start another one. It's no big deal. So if it is that important, please let me know there in the chat, and we'll take care of that. What do you say, Vic? I see you out there. So how is everybody this fine, wonderful evening? Hopefully everybody's doing okay today. Hopefully everybody's having a great time, a good day, enjoying their time on this wonderful earth that we have, whether it be a ball or a plate or whatever the hell shape it is. We argue about that on another channel, of course. Some of y'all know about that. But I hope everybody's having a great day on it, regardless of its shape. Hey, there's American Pride, Ohio. How you doing, sir? I assume you're going to be out sometime this evening, aren't you? Oh, looky there, Art Acuto. Thank you, Art. A little gas money to keep being me, huh? Well, I'll be me either way, man, but I sure do appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. I sure do appreciate it. $50 from Art Acuto. What a guy. Love old Art. Really, really good guy. If y'all don't know Art out there, you should get to know him a little bit in the chat. He's a good guy. Are you ready now, Eugene? If you are, I'll come pick you up. If not, I guess we'll wait a little while. I'm going to be out anyway, so I figured I'd come in a little early today and get a little daylight going. Let people see as I drive around. It's hard to see in the dark, so they'll get to see a little bit more of our lovely little town here. Be home by 6. Is that what that said? All right. Well, I tell you what, just jump in the chat here and let me know when you're ready, and I'll just come pick you up then. How's that? Because I would have to shut this down in order to make a phone call. So when you're ready, just jump in the chat and say, hey, come and get me, and I'll come and get you. We'll keep it easy. I can't get to a screen where I can see everybody out there, but it looks like we got 15 of y'all in here with me tonight, or this evening rather. Not quite tonight just yet, but we're getting there real soon. It's right about 5 p.m. here on Thursday evening or afternoon, however you look at it. We're headed into that evening hours. I don't come out a whole lot during the day because there really isn't much that goes on. And even sometimes when there is, I can't get through the traffic to get there anyway. A lot easier to tool around when there's not as much traffic out, so. Now, apparently, from what I'm understanding, in this town yesterday, I don't know when it actually happened, but I'm told that there was a murder and that they had, I don't know if they discovered the body yesterday or how all that worked, but I don't have the details. I just know that it happened. I was up here and talked to them talked to one of the well, a couple of the different officers here in town, and of course they couldn't release any information to me because it was a quote-unquote active investigation, as they say, and so they couldn't tell me anything while we were all standing out here yesterday. But I imagine that that'll be out in the paper if it wasn't today. I'm sure it will be here in the next day or so, and you'll get a lot more information from the Ironton Tribune typically than you can get from me. Oh, looky there, it looks like there's a WSAZ right there doing a thing about it, evidently. So maybe you'll catch that on the nightly news tonight on WSAZ. It looks like I just passed them. They were on the corner there doing their thing. So a little bit of the wonderful mainstream media out here. Some people call them the fake stream media, I suppose. But I'll leave that up to you to decide whatever you want to decide about the news agencies. I personally don't watch them much. Hello, big girl. I see you out there. Glad you could join us. Glad to see everybody here today. I don't know if we're going to find anything interesting or if we're going to do what we have been doing and just drive around town, but either way, we'll be doing that. So if there's anything to be seen, we may get to see it. And if there's nothing to be seen, I guess you'll see that too. You'll see a whole big nothing burger. So we tend to have those around here. Hey, Scott Hubert, I see you out there. How you doing? Glad everybody's popping in. Even if you don't stay, I don't know how long this is going to last. Hopefully my phone doesn't cut off anymore and we can just keep a big one going. I'm out here. It's, like I said, it's about 5 p.m. right here. And I'm going to stay out. Eugene's going to join me around 6 or 8 o'clock this evening, and we'll run tonight too. So we're just going to stay out here and see what we can see, if anything. I figured I'd come out a little bit during the daylight. That way y'all get to see a little bit more of our town and enjoy some of the daylight hours with me, and maybe catch some of the people that have to go to work, have a job, have to, can't stay up all night and watch us drive around town. So figured maybe they could jump in, chat a little bit, talk with us. And I asked y'all to go check out the conspiracy music shows. I understand not everybody likes all the music on there. I don't like all of it, but man, I tell you what, if you do like music, and I think everybody does, you're going to find something on that show that you like. I guarantee it. There's going to be at least one or two of those performers on there that you are going to think like I do and think that's pretty friggin' awesome. Find some new channels to subscribe to, new people to meet, new music to listen to. So definitely go check out Conspiracy Music with Doc Danger. They have their own channel. That description should be, or the link should be in the description of that video. And go check them out. Let them know that we sent you in there to say hi to them. Pull over here just a quick second here, because I gotta be honest, I can't see this chat at all. The sun is just too bright on it and I'm unable to see it. Roads suck, though. If Chili's going to go to Ironton to protest something, he should protest the potholes and not the cops, right? We definitely have a few of them here. Hey, Top Welder, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Getting all the famous people in here now. Everybody's starting to filter in. Glad to have everybody. Glad to see everybody. And of course, I'm always glad to spend time with you. Really hard for me to see that chat today, just because I'm out in the sun and all the glaring on the phone makes it very hard to see. But I'm trying to keep up, guys. Hey, there's Work Lion. Hello, Work Lion. How you doing, man? Good to see you too. Getting all the famous names out today. I see Della Perry out there. Hello, Della. How you doing today? Good to have you in the chat. Sean MTS. Have unsubscribed. Well, that's always a personal choice. Too bad everybody else doesn't unsubscribe and just leave them alone. Hello, JR. I see you. I think what we ought to do, I mean, as an entire community, we should stop talking about Chili for at least 14 straight days. Not a thing, not a single channel mentioning anything, no matter what. And I believe that'll give him enough rope to finally hang himself. I believe he'll have to do something really dumb and stupid to get everybody's attention again. He will go out of his mind if everybody just shuts up and quits talking about him altogether. That's my opinion. I think that's what we should do. But I'm not going to tell the other channels what to do because, you know, I mean, hell, they make a good bit of make a good bit of views off his stuff. People love to laugh at the moron, so you know, there you go. I just think if we don't give him the attention he wants, he's gonna long for it. You know, he acts like he doesn't like it, but you know he's enjoying it because he can't put it down. He just can't stay off of it, you know. So you know, when we all just forget him and won't talk about, he's going to have to go out of his way to get our attention again because he's going to feel left out, and he don't like that. He don't like being left out. He loves the attention. And as for anybody that does support Chili, I ain't knocking on you. Y'all go right ahead. You support whoever you want to support. I don't bitch about it either way. I think everybody knows my opinion of Chili, so I don't think I need to reiterate it here. So, what's that? I should try to prove what? What did that just say? Jeff Hates Pig says I should try to prove myself right. Prove myself right about what? See, the most beautiful thing is I don't have anything to prove to you, Jeff, or anyone else for that matter. I've already proven everything that I needed to prove as far as my personal being is concerned. I don't feel I have to prove myself to anyone. And as far as being about Chili, I'm always right about Chili. And not because I'm always right, just because he's always wrong. You can just make shit up about Chili and be right about 99% of the time. It's the most beautiful part about him. So anyway, I am going to leave that alone for the rest of the evening because I don't like to talk about him anyway. I only like to talk about him when it's prudent, and it's not today. Today, we're out taking a drive through Ironton, so if you want to join me and do that, let's do that. Let's forget that Chili exists for the entire day and just have a good time running through and enjoying the town, and maybe, if we get lucky, we'll see a pullover. Some action somewhere, and we'll get out and we'll film that. Otherwise, we'll just see how many miles we can put on the car and how much gas we can burn, huh? I hope everybody's starting to see people come together out there. I sure am. Watching a lot of groups and a lot of communities starting to talk back and forth. Watching people who don't mind supporting auditors bump elbows with people that hate auditors. So, you know, it's starting to work out. You know, we're starting to come together, which was my original plan anyway. Get people united under one banner again, we the people. Don't have to agree with everything. We just have to agree with each other on certain things, and we all pretty much want the same things in our own lives. We all want life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we're all looking for, and we don't want anybody stepping on our toes while we're doing it. It's a pretty day today. It's warm. It's not cold, but it's not hot. Fairly nice warm day. Nice day to be out driving around for sure. Sure beats raining cats and dogs or the snow. All that's coming, I'm sure. We're getting into the fall, so we should be getting some of that fall rain, and of course that leads right on into those winter snows. So haven't passed the local drunk guy yet. I don't know if you're talking to me or not, but we got more than one local drunk guy. That's the thing about this area. There's a lot of drunk guys sometimes. We definitely have our fair share of drunk hillbillies in the area, that's for sure. Oh, I bet it does, Art. It's beautiful bike weather. Too bad I don't have one. Scott, my niece is doing okay. They did a procedure yesterday, and I think they're going to do another one. Something is causing her gallbladder not to work correctly, so I don't know what they're going to do about that, if anything, yet. I'm still waiting to hear that. She is still in the hospital, and she's in a pretty good amount of pain, but she's doing okay. She knows I love her. She knows Uncle Bub supports her all the way, and but for some reason her gallbladder's not working correctly, and I guess she has a big stone blocking off the tube going down to the liver, and it's caused her a lot of pain. So that's what's going on with the niece for now. Is that's been the update that I have. So if you pray. If you don't pray, just send some good wishes this way. You know, cross your fingers, your nose, your toes, your eyes, and anything else you can get crossed for. If you want, give her a shout out in the chat, and I'll make sure to replay it and show it to her. I bet that'd just tickle her pink, just to see that she's that important, that people out in the chat know who she is and say hello. Got a truck trying to back in up here, got the traffic blocked off here. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's just turn around, and I'll leave him blocking the traffic there, and I'll just go a different way. That's what I'll do. Turn around the parking lot here. Just go up the block and go around them. My plan is to go all the way up to the next little city up the way here is Hanging Rock, and there's a point where Ironton and Hanging Rock meet, and that's where I'm going to go. Start working my way back this direction, and I'll just take you on a drive all the way through the entire length of Ironton and give you an idea how long it is here. I know people ask a lot how big Ironton is. It's not very big. Definitely not as big as it might sound on the internet. Who was that? Max. Hey, don't worry, Max. I used to listen to Chili too, man. I gotta admit, I never did watch his videos a whole lot, but when I met him in person, I was caught up in it for a minute. You know, I actually believed he meant some of the stuff that he said, and you know, I was ready to help him do that. You know, once I figured out that he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, though, that's when I had to back out and quit for sure. So, but don't take it as an insult, because there's a lot of us that believed in him for a bit, and there's some people that are still betting on, you know, betting all their chips on him. It's those people that I feel the most for, because they obviously haven't seen that he's not what they think he is, and he's definitely not sometimes what he pretends to be. But don't take it too hard. You know, a lot of us thought he was going to be the guy. So it wasn't my plan, Jeff. But when somebody brings it up in the chat, I will talk with my chat. Apparently Jeff's getting a little offended out there. Jeff likes chili too, so. But I was just explaining that, you know, he had me on his side for a while too, Jeff. There's a lot of people like to make a lot of comments about me, but notice that I'm not out here claiming a whole lot. I don't claim a whole lot about myself. I'm not the one telling you that I'm this or I'm that. I don't really make any claims. All I do is come out with a camera and let you see what I see and hear what I hear. I don't make a whole lot of claims about myself. I don't claim to be any more than I've ever been. I'm just a hillbilly that lives on a muddy hillside. Pretty naive guy. I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not the smartest guy, and I don't claim to be, so. I just claim to try to do everything I can to be an honest guy, the best of my abilities, the best that I know how to be. Just to be an honest guy that does everything I can to give everybody a fair shake until they don't deserve it anymore, and then the fairness comes out. But that's what it's about. So Russian Shadow, wait, now I missed that one. It's hard to read this driving, guys. Let me pull over here a quick second. See what's going on here. I catch flashes and words as I'm driving, just as I glance. So, Honey Badger is asking, may I speak on your platform? Absolutely. Pretty much anybody's free to talk on my platform. So, I'm doing great, Alfredo. How you doing? So yeah, I don't have any way to bring anybody up on the panel tonight. I'm just running live straight on YouTube. It's not a software where I can bring anybody in. But yeah, anytime I'm running a live feed, yeah, you come on into the chat and ask about it. Hell, we'll throw you a link and get you up. That's no problem. I don't mind people speaking on my platform. This is a real First Amendment free platform. You can pretty much say anything you want as long as you're not making direct threats and attacks and not breaking YouTube terms of service, that kind of thing. Now, if you're talking about me, my mods know to let you say whatever you want, because, like, I don't really care. But if you're attacking people on my panel, or if you're attacking people in my chat, like personal attacks, then yeah, they're not going to tolerate that. And I have really good mods; they'll take care of that. So that's why I don't have to actively moderate as I go. I have really good moderators out there. And shout out to all my mods. Thank you for being the people that you are. Thank you for taking such good care of my chat. I really do appreciate it. I don't believe that you would, Honey Badgers, if you're talking about coming up on the platform there. I don't believe that you would do that. I don't believe that the average person would. There's always those few people, you know, but that's all right. We won't know until we get them up there. And again, you know, like I say, that's the beautiful thing about the First Amendment. You get to say whatever the hell you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be right. It don't even have to be accurate. So you can lie all you like. I mean, hell, that's what the First Amendment's about. It's supposed to be protected speech, whether it's good speech or bad speech. And as I always say, the speech that needs to be protected the most is the speech that we don't want to hear, because that's what we have a bad habit of trying to censor. All right, guys, here we go. This is where Ironton ends and a little town called Hanging Rock begins. And I'm not sure if Hanging Rock has achieved city status yet or not. I know Colgrove's still a village, and I'm pretty sure South Point's still a village. Hanging Rock might be as well. Of course, that's all due to population, you know, as to whether they consider it a city, a town, a village, all that kind of stuff. So we just headed from, that's where the Ironton line is. Now we're headed back through Ironton. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drive straight to where it butts up against Colgrove. And we'll just enjoy the drive here, and you'll see that the city itself, it's pretty long. There really isn't a whole lot to it. This is North Ironton here. And I don't get down in this area much at night, mainly because there's nothing down here. It's just homes. You know, there's no businesses. There's really no traffic to speak of. And although the police patrol through here, there's no traffic to pull over, and there's really not much for calls of service down on this end. So really not a whole lot happening on this end of town most of the time anyway. I mean, I'm sure there are things that happen, you know, but the likelihood of pullovers and all that stuff, that's all in the downtown area there, of course. That's why I usually stick with that. Hope everybody's enjoying the drive this evening. I see something about the joke we played getting arrested. I can't read the rest of that comment. I'm sorry. I'm driving, but yeah, well, that was Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind's idea. And unfortunately, he was exactly correct about the reaction that we would get. And we got that reaction probably about 10 times more than we thought we might get on that. So there you go. That was what that was all about. That was just making a point, and I think the point was proven. I don't want to talk all night about that, of course. I'm trying to leave that one alone for tonight. That's not what this channel or this stream is about. This is just us being out driving around. We'll audit if we get a chance, and if not, then we'll just drive around. I don't mind driving around with y'all, spend a little time. I do want to say one more time, I do appreciate everybody out there that was ready to make sure that I was bailed out of jail. I really do appreciate that. Y'all are pretty awesome for that. There were so many people trying to figure out how to get money to us, and quite a few people already getting ready to get in their vehicles and head that way, and that's just amazing, and I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to all of you that actually care enough to make sure that I don't have to spend very much time in a place like that. So thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what that says about me. I guess I'm still trying to figure that out, you know, about why people would go through that much trouble to help little old me just because I went and got stupid and got my ass put in jail. Not that everybody goes to jail for being stupid. That's not what I'm saying, before somebody gets their panties in a wad and tries to say that I said some shit like that. But here, with the rapport that I've already established with the local police and sheriff's department and stuff, I think I would have to go out of the way and, you know, really break the law and be, you know, just be crazy with it in order to go to jail here. Of course, I don't think anybody here wants to put me in jail for any reason. Well, there might be a few people out there in YouTube land that like to see me go to jail. Probably some of them people that say jail shouldn't be. Funny that. The ones that cry the most about the torture cuffs and the jail are the ones that want to see me behind bars so bad. It don't make any sense. I really do appreciate that y'all think that much of me. Again, I'm not sure why. I'm not anything special, guys. I'm just a hillbilly with a camera. That's it. Hillbilly with a YouTube channel. Any hillbilly can have one now. It's what makes YouTube great. Is anybody can get on there and give their opinion and make up their own content, whatever they want to do. There are other platforms out there too. YouTube's the only one that I focus on, just because I just don't have time to get into too much, unfortunately. I wish I had more time. Maybe I'll put more time into it. It seems like maybe this could be a very profitable thing. You know, there are a lot of people out there that profit a great deal on YouTube, and I don't profit a whole lot. I make a little bit of money on it, somewhere between $150 to $250 a month generally. Somewhere, you know, it fluctuates because my content fluctuates, and my the amount of time that I spend online fluctuates. So, of course, that causes the income to fluctuate. But if I put enough time into it, you know, maybe I could grow that. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I won't. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I want to spend that much time to learn as much as I need to learn. Obviously, there are much better content creators out there than me. You see, I don't really create content. I just let y'all, you know, ride along or show you the videos that I shoot. I don't really call that content creation exactly. I got to turn down the block here and turn up to get away from the bridge here, because if I go across that bridge, we'll end up in Kentucky, and I don't want to go to Kentucky just now, so we'll pop underneath the bridge here and come back out on 3rd Street here and continue that route we were going on all the way through town, just so you have an idea. Pretty long, but it's not very wide for sure. All right, here we go, back out on 3rd Street again. So again, I hope everybody's having a great day out there. Hope everybody's happy and healthy, comfortable. And if not, then I hope that comes your way here really soon. Somebody's asking about Beaver, Ohio. You know what's funny about Beaver, Ohio is I never heard of it until I was on the free 411 talking to the computer one time, trying to get it to recognize when I would say Pedro, Ohio. It kept saying Beaver, Ohio. And that's when I discovered that it actually existed and looked it up on a map to find out where it was. So now I know about Beaver, but I did not until then. And that's just probably been about 6 or 8 years ago, actually. I had never heard of Beaver, Ohio before. Though I have seen beavers in Ohio, for sure. Definitely seen beavers. Just didn't know there was a town called Beaver until now. That's where your dad is from, Beaver, Ohio. Awesome, fellow Buckeye. It's the only state I've ever lived in is Ohio. I've stayed in other places for short times, but I've never really lived outside of Ohio. Just kind of been a Buckeye all my life. I like Ohio. I'm sure there are probably better states. There are probably worse states, and maybe it's just because I haven't lived anywhere else and don't have anything to compare it to, but I have to admit, if you ask me what my favorite state is, it's going to be Ohio. I really do love Ohio. It's a beautiful place, wonderful people, and it really doesn't matter which end of it you're on, but man, I'll tell you what, you start from the southern tip of it, start heading north. Once you get about an hour north, Ohio changes forever. It's all flat, there's no hills. The accent from the people change, you know, so Ohio being a Yankee state down here on this end, all the way down here to the river, we're in a lot closer relationship with Kentucky and West Virginia than we are with the rest of the state, really. So we talk like them, you know. I guess because we're right down here by them, and a lot of the people in the southern part of the state actually came up from the south. My grandparents, my dad's parents actually came from Kentucky originally, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So might be where some people in central and northern Ohio think I have a southern accent, and that must be where they hear it from. But I do love the state of Ohio. There are things I don't like, of course, but I'd say I'd probably find those no matter what state it was. I'm sure we could all talk about positive and negatives of everywhere we live. All right, guys, we're coming up on the end of town here in just a second. We're almost right at the Cold Grove line here. Again, Cold Grove's just the next little village up the way here. Those that are from here and know a little bit about the area will know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody else, you've seen it on camera now, so you have an idea. And this is it. This is where Ironton stops and Cold Grove begins. I think we just passed the sign there, right just behind the trees there. You couldn't see it. It says Cold Grove Corporation Limit, so. I'm just going to swing right back around here and head right back the way we came again. Alrighty, so there you go. That is a drive all the way through the length of Ironton. And as you see, it didn't take me long. Hey, Sovereign Soul, how you doing tonight? Glad to see you out there in the chat. Glad you come to join us for a little bit. You guys arguing over chili again? Look, you guys out there in the chat, you guys can talk about them all night if you want to. I'm going to try my best to avoid the topic unless I have to answer something directly from the chat. I'm really trying to keep his name out of my mouth. It makes me throw up a little, so I just prefer to keep it out if I can. As you guys see, Ironton is really not all that big at all. So there's driving through the length of it. When we get back down here to Park Avenue, I'll drive the width of it. It might be a little bit wider in a couple places and a little less wide in others, but that'll give you a brief idea of about the size of the town, if you were to look at it as a giant rectangle anyway. It is such a pretty day. Pretty day. Too bad they all can't be like this. Now, me personally, I could stand for it to be about 20 degrees warmer. But again, it's not cold. It's just I'm old. I'm getting that old man blood. Like I said, my blood type's coffee. And when it gets cold, my coffee gets cold. Once my coffee gets cold, that's it. I'm just cold. Oh, Max, that's fine. Like I said, you ought to talk about him all you want. I'm trying personally to stay out of it for today. Y'all can talk about anything you want. That's the beautiful thing about the chat. You guys can chat amongst yourselves about anything you want to. I personally am trying to avoid talking about him tonight because that ain't what this is about. I get accused a lot of being obsessed with chili, and I think anybody that's watching my channel knows that isn't true. I'm not obsessed at all. I think he might have a bit of obsession with a few people and a few channels that aggravate him, you know. Me, I don't get that obsessed. I don't really care. But I don't want my channel to be about chili, or anyone else for that matter. This isn't a channel that I get on here and just bring up videos to bash other auditors or anything, you know. So that's not where I want to go with this channel. I don't want this channel to become the one where we all get together and laugh at other people. I want this channel to be the one channel where we can all unite and come together, whether we're laughed at or not, whether we're made fun of or not, whether people like us or not, it doesn't really matter. Here we can all get together. I'm hoping that someday when we're on this channel we can forget our differences and just be together because we're all here and enjoy each other's company, instead of looking for reasons to hate each other. Well, it looks like it's going to be almost as boring of a day as it has been a few nights with y'all riding around with me. So, right, Jeff, I agree with that statement. We can do more together. That is a fact. If people would worry more about trying to unite rather than finding reasons to divide. Seems like we all find reasons to pick at each other instead of trying to find reasons not to. Me, I try to find the reasons not to. Ain't a whole lot of people I pick at or say much about. Very, very select few. Those that I do speak of openly and just call straight out idiotic and moronic, you know, the only reason I do that is because I feel like they deserved it at the moment. But I think all of us, no matter how much we may disagree on certain topics, I am hoping that you guys can be like me and agree to disagree on those kind of things so that we can get together, united as we the people, and agree on the things that we all agree on anyway. You know, those basic human rights, those basic things that, you know, those unalienable rights. You know, the things that we don't have because government give to us. We had to make government recognize that we had them and they couldn't take them. You know, and now they're trying to take them, and the only reason that is successful and has been to this point is because we the people have allowed it to happen. So instead of guilting each other and all the other bullshit, what we need to be doing is smacking ourselves across the back of the neck and saying, hey, stupid, I'm talking to you. And when I say you, I mean me, myself. I'm talking to you. Quit sleeping. Quit sleeping on the job. It's your civic duty to wake the fuck up and become part of we the people. Because if you guys don't start understanding, recognizing, and exercising the rights that you have, pretty soon you're going to find out you don't have any. Most of us already know that they've already taken away most of that, and we only have the illusion of having any rights now. So, you know, we're all going to have to get out there and test it a little more to find out whether we actually have them or if we just have the illusion of it. So, unfortunately, to bring any real change, it's going to take us all together. One of us can't do it. 5 of us can't do it. You know, that's not how that's going to work. So we need to be together when we speak it. That way our voice is very loud. I know I tend to ramble a lot, guys. I hope I'm not rambling. Just trying to get some of my opinions out there. If anybody actually gives a shit about my opinion. I know most people don't. My opinion's not highly sought after, I can tell you that. Good thing you ain't got to pay to hear my opinion, huh? Paul Harvey, I see that. Yeah, I miss Paul Harvey too. I always liked his show, especially the rest of the story. That was one of my favorite radio shows to listen to when I was younger. I always thought those were very interesting. How he played it all the way through, and you never knew who he was talking about or what he was talking about till the end, till you got the rest of the story. Made me realize at a very young age that there are a lot of things that are slanted and skewed a certain way to make you believe a certain thing. And until you have the rest of the story, you walk around thinking you know a whole lot. Then you find out later that you didn't know half of what you thought you knew. It's kind of like getting to be an old man coming up from a young man. You know, there's a point that you get to where you realize that all the knowledge you thought you had is bunkus. And now you got to start over because, you know, you were holding on to shit that didn't matter. And life is bringing you new knowledge and wisdom. All right, guys, so we did the length of town. I'm going to turn around here in the parking lot and show you the actual width here. Well, on Park Avenue anyway. Like I said, there might be a couple spots where it might be just a little bit wider, and there might be some where it's a little bit more narrow, but this will give you a good idea of average anyway of the size of the town. You've already traveled the length of it with me. So now we're going to go back down here and start at this side and cover the width of it. So right now I'm on I think they call this the Ironton Hills Shopping Plaza. And I'm going to make a right here, and this is State Route 93 that runs north and south through Ohio. Runs a good long ways if you look on a map, runs way up through there. But this is our little part of it down here. I believe it was also voted like one of the second curviest state routes in the state, something like that. There's some pretty good curves on the upper end of it there. So right as we come underneath this underpass here, this is where Ironton proper starts. I mean, Ironton goes a way bit out into the country, but you know, as far as the mailing addresses and stuff are concerned, but as far as the actual city proper, it really begins right underneath this underpass here. Hey Retta, I seen you pop in out there. Every once in a while I catch something in the chat, man. With the sun glare today, it's really hard to see that camera while I'm driving. So if I don't respond to you and you're talking to me directly, guys, I apologize. Just throw it in there again every now and then, and I'll catch it maybe on the rerun or replay. Very hard for me to drive and focus on the camera, obviously. I don't have the skill to run with two different cameras and not drive my vehicle. I don't have a self-driving car, so I actually have to do the work, make sure that it doesn't crash into stuff. So, and of course, as you see, there's a lot more traffic out than there is at night, so you know, I have to be super aware, of course, mainly because I don't think I can afford my insurance if it goes up any, so I better be a careful driver. So we started back there at those overpasses. That was 52 running east and west. Another main artery down here on the bottom of the state. Runs all the way up and across the bridge into West Virginia, and then runs all the way out through southeastern Ohio. And believe it or not, guys, we're almost to the end of it already, because it don't take much. There really ain't much here. It's kind of long, but it's not very wide. There's not a whole lot to Ironton. Sometimes you wonder why such a small town's got so many stoplights. Was because even though there's not a lot of people, sometimes there is a huge amount of traffic. This is like a gateway, you know. It's a gateway getting across the river over into Kentucky and coming back. So there's a lot of traffic in this town that doesn't necessarily stop in the town. You seen where I just turned there? That was actually dead-ended. Turning up one block here, and I'm going to turn back left to show you what's right behind that. That dead ends into what used to be the old train depot there. And so I'm going to turn here to show you what's right behind the old train depot. Of course, it's a restaurant now, it's no longer a depot. But anyway, the depot was right there to our left, and you see the railroad tracks are right here, and we're crossing those right now. And here you go, there is the beautiful, if you want to call it that, Ohio River. And that's where our journey ends, of course, through the width of town. There's nowhere else to go. This little car is not a hovercraft. It's not amphibious, and it does not like water. So I think we'll stop here and turn around and go back the other way. But anyway, I just wanted to give you all an idea of the town and its size, so that you see that, you know, when I'm driving around, I just kind of stick in the downtown area most of the time. Every once in a while, I'll follow one of them on their patrol just to drive around behind, and just to keep myself occupied more than anything. That other live was on when me and Eugene were down here at the riverbank. That's where we were at. It's just dark then. That's why it looks better now. You can actually see something in the daylight, I hope. Hopefully the glare isn't so bad. You all get to see something. So there you go, guys. There's a quick little cruise of Ironton. Didn't take very long at all, because it's just not very big. You're right, Sovereign Soul. It all happens there on TV. We don't have any docks on the water. That's just it. We don't have nothing like that. Not anymore, anyway. There may have been before my time, but not anymore. Ironton doesn't have any manufacturing, and they sure ain't shipping anything out. Definitely not by train or by boat, so we don't really have those warehouses here. The warehouses we have are more like some of the grocery stores. I had, like Bartram's, I know they had a warehouse up on the other end a little bit. We really don't have that anymore. That's definitely where all the TV crime happens. Down by the water at the docks. You can drive down there about any time on TV and find all kinds of bad stuff going on. Guys, again, if you're in Ironton or you're in the local area and you drive through Ironton, or if you ever plan on driving through Ironton, know that they have an ordinance which requires you to turn your turn signal on 100 foot prior to your turn And the only problem with that is if you're not sure exactly where you're going, it doesn't make much sense to have your signal on when you get there. And secondly, a lot of these blocks are not much more than 100 foot long. So know that, know that 100 foot, you're probably looking around somewhere around 7 or 8 car lengths. I don't know if everybody understands. I know everybody knows that a foot's 12 inches, but if you're not used to like just looking across a blank landscape and deciding how far it is, it might be a little far, or it might be a little hard to assume how far 100 foot is. This gas station's a little busy today. This is a busy little station. It's that same one that we get our coffee from and hang out at sometimes when we aren't out driving around. Yes, I know how to put a scanner on my phone, Max. Unfortunately, the Ironton police do not broadcast on open airwaves, so you can't pick it up on a scanner. That's the only problem there. Yeah, I can get a scanner, but it only does Lawrence County Public Safety. It does not handle. The Ironton police do not broadcast on a frequency that you can get. Every great once in a while, you'll hear like one quick radio interruption from one car, but you won't hear the repeat stuff. You won't hear the dispatcher, so none of that stuff will you get on an actual scanner. And it's because I actually have a handheld scanner. That's how I know. Early on, when I first started this, somebody sent me the money to buy a scanner, so I did. And yeah, unfortunately, it was a waste of the money because it doesn't matter here to have one. So they actually have cell phones by AT&T that they use while they're on duty. That is the body cam, and as far as I know, I think that's like the radio transmits like on that frequency as well. So I asked the chief if I could have a radio. Obviously, she told me no. I tried though, guys. I really did. I figured, hell, I can ask. The worst she can do is say no, and she did. She said, no, I can't give you a radio. I tried. Wish I had one of those really good cop buddies that everybody accuses me of having. One of those really, really good buddies that'll like give me a heads up on everybody they're pulling over, so I know when it's happening and where it's happening. But no, I don't get anything like that. So I just have to get lucky and happen up on it. And let's face it, my luck is not that great, and although Ironton is not that big, it is way too big for me to catch every single stop, especially if I'm on one end and they're somewhere else. So some of these streets are fairly narrow, and of course everybody can't park. Hell, that car's not even parked, they're just taking up space anyway. Maybe someone ought to teach her how to park. If you're gonna pull over and talk to somebody, you ought to at least get your ass out the fucking road. And that's for everybody out there listening. If you're driving, don't block the fucking road to chat. Get your ass out the middle of the damn road. You can talk all you want. Don't hold up traffic to do it. That's just silliness. It's kind of like you people in the grocery store where you like park your cart on the right side of the aisle and then stand between your cart and the other part of the aisle and block off the entire goddamn thing. And then act like someone's rude when they ask you to get your ass out of their way so they can continue their shopping. So, guys, and I think it just comes from people not being aware. They don't really think of shit while they're out doing something. So think about that. If you're pushing a cart through a store, don't block off half the aisle with the cart and the other half with your ass. That don't make any damn sense. It only makes sense to you, and none of the rest of us like it. So just be aware that you're not the only asshole shopping today. Someone else out there is buying something too. Make sure they have the room to get through. Always be considerate, guys. Always try to think of those around you. I know it gets tough in your everyday life to think about anything sometimes, but always try to be aware that there are always other people out there. Always. Don't ever get so caught up into arrogance where you feel like you're the only one or the most important, you know. Because unfortunately you're not in everybody else's life anyway. Maybe to some, but not a great enough number to where it really matters to anyone else. So just to be honest with y'all. I'm surprised some potholes don't swallow my little Hyundai. Potholes one thing, it just break a couple belts in your tire, but man, some of these I damn near have to drive down in one side and drive back up out of the other. Again, I ain't gonna give the city too much shit on their streets. I mean, they're shit fucking streets, and I think everybody that lives here and drives them knows that, and knows that they could be better. But then so could the highways, byways, bridges, and every damn thing else across this country. I don't know why we've let our infrastructure go to shit. Maybe it's just where we need to back up for this bus to get through here. Maybe it's just where we need to get back to putting money into it instead of putting it into the pockets of politicians. That's my opinion. I think that's where the majority of it goes. We're too busy creating fucking jobs and making sure everybody gets a certain amount of money every fucking year, but we don't fill in the potholes. And the only problem with that is it keeps tearing up our cars. I don't know if y'all realize that's why your ball joints go bad. That's why, you know, it's just wearing them the hell out. So me being a mechanic, I know that all too well. Control arms, ball joints, struts, springs, Lord have mercy, nothing like the suspension on your vehicle. It sure takes a pounding on bad streets and roads. Looks like our little shake shop here is doing pretty good today. Got a line out through here, man. Pretty good little place. If you're from the local area and you haven't tried it, I'm pretty sure everybody has. If you're not from the local area and you're ever in, or you're planning on coming through and you want one of those, it's like a Dairy Queen experience without going to the corporate stores. It's called the Shake Shop, just a mom and pop place, and it's been bought and sold several times. But the kids that work there are great. The food's pretty good, and of course, you know, grab you a milkshake and ice cream. And I think they're going to stay open all winter. They have. It depends on who owns it as to whether or not they run it that way. But, know, guys, after being at Cooter's Garage and seeing that General Lee, that makes me want one to drive through town in. I just think it'd be fun. I mean, how many of us, guys my age anyway, how many of us did not want to be driving the General Lee when we got older and we were kids? Man, everybody wanted a General Lee. Toughest badass, most badass car on earth until of course Kit came along from Knight Rider, you know, the indestructible car, you know. Until then, it was the General Lee, which was pretty indestructible. I guess when they were filming that show, they tore up several cars every episode. Jeez, man, I don't know how many of those vehicles they must have went through over the years to film all that. It's quite a few, I imagine. Somebody out there probably knows the statistics on that. I don't. But I did love that show when I was a kid, man. It wasn't nothing better than to watch Bo and Luke Duke outrun the local police. I'm going to go straight. That's what I'm going to do. Wow, that sun is bright. Of course, that's why they call it the sun, ain't it? It's supposed to be bright, dumbass. If it wasn't bright, you'd be bitching because the sun ain't bright enough. It's kind of like in the middle of summer, people bitch because it's too damn hot, and then when winter gets here, they bitch because it's too damn cold. And me, I absolutely bitch when it's cooler than 70, but I don't say a whole lot when it's hot, other than it's hot. That's all I'll say, because I enjoy the heat. I'd rather sweat 10 gallon to keep one chill bump away. I do not like to be cold a bit. Unfortunately, my wife loves it on the cooler end, so, you know, we're exact opposites in almost every way possible. When they say opposites attract, they weren't kidding, man. She loves the cooler and cold weather, and me, I don't like it a bit. I'd rather get out on an 80-degree day. I like it when it's hot. I like to sweat. I don't mind. It's what they made soap and water for. That, personally, I think it's a lot easier to cool off than it is to warm up. It takes me hours to get warm once I'm good and cold, but it don't take all that long to cool down. Pour some cold water over your head in the summer to cool you off for a bit. Don't try that with warm water in the winter, though. It won't work as well or as long. It'll work for a quick second, but it won't take long before it's worse than it was before, for sure. Guys, my coffee tank is full. I'm going to have to run inside here and drain it out. I don't have anybody to leave you with at the moment, so I'm just unfortunately going to have to leave you. I don't like it, but for the moment it's necessary. And I will be right back. I'm just going to run in here and use the restroom, and I will be right back out with y'all. So please don't hate me too much. Give me just a minute. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back with you now. I apologize. Even Ironton Auditor has to pee. You'll have that. You need to get me one of them. I've heard that like NASCAR and them guys, they got something that they can use while they're driving, and maybe that's what I need. And not really. I don't mind getting out of the car. At least it gets me out of the car for a minute. Go. Let's have some fun, guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you're here and a 2 in the chat if you've already left. See how many 2s we can get. Or Sovereign says, put a 1 in the chat for absolutely no damn reason. He likes that. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. I think I've lost it again. Hopefully you guys are still hearing me out there and seeing what I'm seeing. I definitely have 0 chat going on, so it'll be another one of those days where I lose it, I suppose. I don't know if flipping the camera is going to help that any at all, but we'll see. That sun is pretty bright. It's right about eye level at the moment. We're getting close. Yeah, I'm getting 0 chat here, guys, so I have absolutely none. Seeing nothing. So if you are talking to me, I can't tell at all. I'm getting nothing. I can't even scroll back through them now. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why it does that. Damn it, YouTube. But I've definitely lost it, haven't I? I have 0 chat. That figures. Getting a thing. All right, guys. Well, I'm not getting anything, and I can't tell if this is still live or not. It says it is, and hopefully I'm still coming through. So it looks like we're going to have about as much fun as we've had the last few times. I have to stop it and start it again just to get the chat back. And the only reason I care about the chat is because I love interacting with y'all, and I hate just driving around talking into a camera for nothing. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut this one down, and I'll start another one here in a few minutes, and we'll ride around some more and do a little bit more talking back and forth. So hopefully the chat's working for y'all, and y'all can hear me. So if you can hear me, know that I'm going to shut this one down and pick another one back up here in a minute. So give me just a couple minutes and I'll be right back on with you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.